city. Look at this place already. Weeds growing from every crack and crevice, graffiti over every square inch of public space, garbage, drugs, feces.
Wait, look closely at these streets. This isn't a movie set or a third world country. This is Los Angeles right now, and what's happening behind the scenes of this mayoral race is about to blow the lid off the entire city. Watch this.
Jobs, burn down towns, abandoned storefronts. This city is a mess, and you're about to reward the arsonists who torched the place with 4 more years of destruction?
Did you catch that? Entire city blocks looking like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Notice the abandoned storefronts and the sheer volume of trash piling up. It's completely staggering when you realize this is one of the wealthiest states in the country. What we're witnessing here is the absolute collapse of urban infrastructure, and citizens are finally hitting their breaking point. It's not just the property damage, it's the fact that local authorities seem entirely paralyzed to stop it. Look at the way those structures are just left to rot while the political machine keeps grinding. You really have to wonder how long a major metropolitan area can sustain this level of neglect before the local economy just fully evaporates. When you see businesses boarded up like this, it's a massive red flag that the tax base is fleeing. And without that revenue, the city has zero chance of funding the emergency services needed to clean this up. It's a vicious cycle happening right in front of our eyes, and nobody is taking accountability.
Awake at night sweating and worried about 5 a.m. when the FBI blazers bust in the door, breaking open your office, because I assure you, they're coming.
Whoa, pause right there. You see those tactical units stacking up at the door? That is raw, heavy-handed federal action right in the middle of a local political crisis. When the FBI starts kicking down doors at 5 a.m., you know the corruption runs incredibly deep. Look at the urgency in their movement. This isn't a routine check. This is a targeted strike meant to secure evidence before it can be shredded. It really puts the whole political comeback narrative into perspective. People are getting desperate, and the authorities are finally making their move. Notice how they completely lock down the perimeter. That level of tactical coordination means they've got rock-solid intelligence, probably from inside whistleblowers who are terrified of going down with the ship. It makes you realize that the political facade we see on the news is just a thin layer hiding massive, organized criminality underneath. Whoever they are going after here, their entire life just changed in a matter of seconds. It's wild to see this level of federal intervention playing out in real time.
That means less tax revenue. That means the city has to cut services, more potholes, less firefighters, less police patrols, more criminals, more drug addicts terrorizing your communities. And we haven't ended it.
Look at the sheer chaos on the ground here. It's the small details that really tell the story. The massive potholes destroying vehicles, the complete lack of police presence on these corners. You can literally see the local economy dying in real time as these business owners pack up their livelihoods. And did you notice the people completely passed out on the sidewalk while everyday citizens just try to walk by? It's totally normalized now. This is exactly what happens when local governance completely abandons its fundamental duties. The fact that developers and entrepreneurs are mass texting candidates that they are fleeing the city shows a massive loss of confidence. Once that capital flight happens, the city services get slashed even further. We're looking at the cascading failure of a modern metropolis. The craziest part is the absolute visual contrast between the luxury cars hitting those deep craters in the road and the sprawling encampments just feet away. It's a tale of two completely different realities crashing into each other, and it's entirely unsustainable.
All my neighbors in the Palisades, all the moms who worry about their kids walking past drug addicts in front of their schools, all the business owners getting crushed in the
Stop and really look at the faces in the background of this shot. You can see the pure exhaustion and fear from these moms trying to navigate their kids past active drug use just to get to school. It is deeply unsettling. Think about the psychological toll that takes on a community day after day. This isn't abstract political theory. This is their daily physical reality. The contrast between the innocent kids with their backpacks and the absolute despair on the pavement is jarring. You have to ask yourself, how did the zoning laws and community protections fail so spectacularly that this becomes the morning routine? When citizens feel this fundamentally unsafe, they stop participating in the local economy, they pull their kids from the schools, and the entire community fabric just disintegrates. It's heartbreaking to watch because you know these families are trapped. The people who can afford to leave already have, leaving behind those who are forced to endure this environment while the politicians argue over who gets to sit in the mayor's office.
Stop me!
You're gonna have to kill me!
Wow. The sheer intensity of that moment speaks volumes about where the political discourse has landed. Throwing a high-stakes, cinematic clip like that into a real-world campaign video is a major escalation. It completely shatters the normal, boring political ad template and injects a massive dose of adrenaline and defiance. Notice the aggressive body language and the extreme close-up. It's designed to trigger a visceral, emotional response from the viewer. This is psychological warfare disguised as digital campaigning. It taps directly into the anger and frustration of an electorate that feels totally unheard. By framing the election as a literal life-or-death struggle, it galvanizes a very specific type of voter who is looking for a disruptive force. Whether you agree with the tactics or not, you have to admit it is a brilliant piece of modern propaganda. It forces you to stop scrolling and pay attention. In a world where attention is the most valuable currency, ending a campaign message with that level of raw, unhinged energy ensures it gets shared millions of times. Okay, let's break down this data visualization because it is wild. Look closely at the color coding splitting the city right down the middle. You have the affluent hills completely locked in one color, and then you trace down to the Skid Row district and it violently shifts to the exact opposite. That geographic divide tells a massive story about class, resources, and political leverage. It's statistically fascinating when you realize that late mail-in ballots overwhelmingly skewed the result in a way that defies typical voting patterns. When you map it out like this, the anomalies become glaringly obvious. The fact that a district known for its transient population had such a synchronized and concentrated voting outcome is exactly why people are questioning the data. Notice how sharply defined the district borders are in the results. There's almost no bleed over. In traditional elections, you see a gradient of support, but here it looks like a hard, artificial line was drawn. Visualizing the data this way completely changes how you understand the mechanics of this election. This entire situation is unraveling fast. Drop a comment below. What do you think happens next? Hit subscribe so you don't miss the update.